Hello, and welcome to 5-Minute Math. Today we are looking at the third grade concept of composing and decomposing numbers. This is Standard 3.2a in the great state of Texas, and we are using item number 1 of the 2025 released STAAR test. This is a new item type called multiple select, and if you haven't done so already, please go ahead and take a moment to pause the video, work this problem out on your own, unpause it, and we will look at our answers together. All right, so we need to select two correct answers here, and we need to find expressions that are equivalent to, we see this 15,090. All right, so let's draw a place value chart here. And so I want to put my ones, I'll put my tens, I'll put my hundreds, and then I'm going to leave two spots over at the very end for my thousands and my 10,000. So I'm going to put a TH, I'm going to put a TH to kind of represent 1, 10, 100. I'll put 1,000 and then 10,000. And let's compose these numbers because really what we're doing is we're kind of adding these right here. And so what we could do is we can go ahead and we could just add some of these. So I've got a 1,000 plus a 5,000 plus 90. All right, so let's see what happens if we do that. So I've got a 1,000. So I'm going to put my 1 right here in my 1,000. And then I've got a 5,000. So I'm going to put that right there. And then I've got instead of a 90, it's a 900. I'm going to put that right there. All right, so what is this first one? So this is going to be I'll put my A right here. I'm going to call that A. Well, I've got a 1,000 and a 5,000. So that's 6,000. Then I've got a 900 and then two zeros. So I've got 6,900. I need 15,000. So that if this 1,000 were 10,000, we'd be a little bit closer, but even that 9 is in the wrong spot. So definitely not this one. All right, so let's switch over to black and let's do this. I've got 15,000. Okay, so 15 in the 1,000 spot. So I'll just put a 15 right there. And then I've got a 90. So that 9 is in the 10 spot. All right, so normally when we decompose, like we would see that 15 in like a 10 and a 5, but they put it together and that's fine. So let's take a look at what I've got. I've got 15 in that thousands, and honestly, you know what's going to be better is if I put that 15, I start with that 1 in that 10,000s place, and I put that 5 right there, because we really only just want one digit in one spot. So that 15, right, in that thousands. Okay, so let's look at, I've got 15, and I've got blanks, right? So I could put blanks right there. And so I've got 15,090. All right, so that looks good. Right, in this first one, we ended up with some zeros right there, and that 1 and the 5 ended up in the same spot, so that didn't quite work. All right, so that looks good for B right here. And so I'm going to go ahead and check that. Now, I need two correct answers, so I can't just move on. And if I do try to move on, it is going to give me warnings, simple saying, are you sure you haven't selected all the correct answers? There's got to be two. All right, so let's now switch to what I'll call C right here. So I need a 1,000. And then I need a 5,000, so that's what A did. And then I've got a 90. So if I add some zeros here, it's going to end up being a little bit closer to kind of what we did on A. So the 1,000 and the 5,000 make 6,090. So the 90 is correct. It just needs to be 15,000 instead of 6,000. All right, so that's no good. Let's look at D. So I've got 15,000. Let's do that same thing. Let's put the 1 and the 5 right there. And then I've got my 900. Okay, so that's close, but not quite going to get me there. So then let's finish. Hopefully it's this last one. E. I've got a 10,000. Okay, so I'm going to put a 1 right there. A 5,000, okay. And then a 9 in the tens place. And there we go. You see how that's going to work. 15,090. All right, so my answer is going to be B and E.